If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you are fed up of the way your life is going and you are ready for change. In the beginning of 2023, I made the decision to transform my life, and I can say with full confidence that is exactly what happened. The woman you see before you is not the woman who was present back in 2022, 2021, and all of the previous years. However, in 2023, I feel like I really found myself, and I'm definitely on the journey to becoming the best woman it is I can possibly be, and I am fully showing up as her every single day. In today's video, I really want to share with you guys some of the things I did that helped me reinvent myself so that you guys can be prepared for 2024 and you can enter the new year with full on confidence, and that you can start attracting everything that it is you want, and you can really start achieving all of your goals. So if you're new here, my name is Delicia. Some people call me Delicia London. I'm 28, a mother, and on this channel, we are all about personal development, becoming the best version of ourselves. I post vlogs, lifestyle content, fashion content, anything and everything. But most importantly, it is all about becoming the best version of yourself and doing whatever it is you can on a daily basis so that you can really start being the woman of your dreams. So let's just get straight into it. If you guys see me change the position of my seating at some point throughout this video, do not be thrown off. I'm just not sure why I decided to sit on a bar stool, as it is quite uncomfortable. So we're going to get through this video as quickly as possible because this setup is not making any sense, and you definitely will not be seeing it in any future videos. Don't be distracted, guys. My dress, I know a few of you will ask me where my dress is from. My dress is from Rat & Boa. I thought, let me look a little bit cute. I could not be asked to put makeup on. However, I made some effort with my hair. Shout out to the hair. And I made some effort with like jewelry and with my outfit. Now, step one when it comes to reinventing yourself is you need to declutter. I highly recommend you do a whole life declutter, a whole life detox. What that looks like is decluttering your social media. If you follow a bunch of accounts on social media that you feel like are not purposeful, that you don't resonate with, you feel like you don't even really support these people, I think the best thing you can do for yourself is to declutter. We all know that we are a little bit addicted to our phones and to social media, and you might be the kind of person who likes to start your day with your phone. I'm not judging, because I definitely have my days where in the morning I'll wake up and the first thing I do is open my phone and go straight on Instagram. The only thing I can say about that is the difference might be is in the accounts that I follow. When I open my phone up and I go on Instagram, I know I'm going to be met with something positive, something inspiring, something motivating. So I highly suggest you start off with a declutter of your social media, especially if you are someone who likes to start your morning with social media. I'm not the type of person to be like, in your morning routine, you should not be going on your phone, even though it is quite beneficial by not going on your phone. But some habits are hard to break. So if you are the type of person that likes to start your phone with social media, make sure you do a declutter. Get rid of all of the accounts that do not serve you and do not reflect the type of woman or man that you want to be. So that might be unfollowing gossip pages, blogs, and people who just aren't a reflection of the person it is you are trying to become. People who aren't positive, who aren't educating you, who aren't inspiring you, and who probably feed like a negative habit that you no longer want to have. That could be unfollowing friends, but we're going to put friends into brackets because you wouldn't unfollow a true friend. So I'm talking about the people who you feel like they are just watchful spirits, people who don't necessarily actually support you, people who aren't reaching out to you when you've made it known that it's your birthday. Those kind of people, you know who I'm talking about. People who are just there to literally watch you, to judge you, and to see what it is you're doing in your life. Go ahead and unfollow those people because they no longer add value. And whilst you are doing this whole life detox, look at your social circle. Who is it within your social circle that you feel like should no longer be there? There's always that one person who in the back of your mind you just feel like our relationship has definitely expired. However, we are just holding on to it because of, familiar, I cannot say this word, familiarity. I'm going to put it on the screen because that is one word I cannot say. But there are definitely friendships that we have today that no longer serve us. However, we hold on to them. We keep these people in our lives just because it forms a part of our routines. However, these people are not supportive. They don't look out for us. When you are going through a low period, they're not someone you turn to. When you're going through a high period, they're also not someone you turn to. So assess your social circle and begin to declutter. Not everyone is going to be with you on your journey for the rest of your life, and that is okay. One of the best things I did for myself in 2023 was I got rid of people who no longer deserved or needed a place in my life. And you have to come to a point where you are okay with that and you're accepting of that fact. There were some people who you might have felt like when you were younger that this person was going to see you all the way throughout life. And at some point, it became obvious that that was no longer going to be the case. But for some reason, you still haven't let them go. You really need to consider ending that friendship before 2024, and that's just the reality. Another thing you could do is you can also declutter your phone book. Do you have a bunch of numbers from people that you probably just shouldn't have anymore? And do you know why I say to declutter your phone book? Is because these people are also attached to our social media accounts. You will start to see like videos of them on TikTok because it will say this person is in your contact. That might not be the kind of content you want to see. It could be an ex, it could be an old friendship, it could have been an acquaintance where at some point the relationship broke down. And sometimes we don't want to be reminded of these people. So make sure you go through your phone book and have a good declutter of that. And finally, if there is someone in your life, this could be a partner, this could be an ex-partner who is still like lingering around, or a family member who you feel like brings you down, brings out the worst of you, and who is extremely negative, go ahead and sever that relationship before the end of the year, because one thing that's going to happen is a weight is going to be lifted off of your shoulder. One of the best things I did for myself was to completely stop a relationship that was one that was, it was a relationship of significance. However, this person brought out the worst in me, and they not only brought out the worst in me, but they tried to like plant seeds of doubt within my own mind, with the way they would say things, with the way they would respond to things, with the way they would make me feel. And sometimes people aren't outwardly saying negative things to you. However, you might approach this person with good news, and their response might be one that's cold, or one that makes you feel like, is this even a good idea? You guys know what I'm trying to talk about. Those are the kind of people you need to be getting rid of in 2024. And that is going to be like the best form of declutter for you. And finally, declutter your home, declutter your wardrobe. If you are holding on to furniture, or if you're holding on to clothing that just aren't a reflection of the woman or man it is you are trying to become, let them go before the year has ended. The best thing I did for myself was I had a habit of like leaving my house and going out when I was like running errands by just throwing on a tracksuit or something I've been wearing for the past few days to like clean and do whatever it is I needed to do. And because of that, I was stepping outside, literally looking like a tramp. I actually kind of hate that word, but I'm not too sure why. Anyway, I would leave my house literally looking like a tramp, but the only reason why I did that was because that's what I had access to. Like, it would just be a jumper that was laying on my couch, or a jumper that was just, the first thing that I would see when I would open my drawer. However, it was not the best looking jumper. Might have had like a bleach stain on it because it's something that I would wear to do the dishes or to clean my house in. I had to get rid of everything that looks like that. Everything that was no longer a reflection of myself, everything that no longer made me look my best, I completely got rid of them, because the minute I didn't have access to them was the point where I was like left with no choice but to wear the things that were more of a reflection of me and that were more presentable. And another thing that I did was I definitely like invested in some high quality, good quality clothing, so that when I did want to run my errands, I could look good doing that. Whether that be good quality tracksuits, good quality like loungewear, or, we like to go out in gym sets these days, good quality ones, so that when I do step out, when I do the nursery run, when I am going to the supermarket, I look good and I look presentable whilst doing that. So when you are decluttering, make sure you are also like making time to actually go out and shop and buy the things it is you need to buy, so that you can add to your wardrobe, so you actually have something to wear when you go out. You don't want to throw everything away, but you haven't replaced it, because you're just going to end up going out in nothing. So make sure you're also buying some things as well. The next thing we're going to do in order to reinvent ourselves by the end of the year is we're going to make a plan. We need to be writing everything down. I cannot express how important this stage is, because not only are you like allowing yourself to declutter your mind by putting what's in there on a piece of paper so you can actually see what it is that you want, but I genuinely feel like there is power in writing things down, and then we can actually remember what it is we want to do, so that we can put an action plan in place so that we can go ahead and achieve them. Now, you don't have to do like an elaborate plan. You don't have to go onto like these apps or websites in order to make these plans. You can literally get a plain piece of paper, or you can just open up your notes app on your phone if you're on an iPhone, and jot everything down. You need to be writing down, why do you want to reinvent yourself? What is it about your current life that you are no longer happy with? For me, I don't want to get too personal in this video, but I just wasn't happy with like how I was living. I wasn't making time for friends. I wasn't going on holiday. I wasn't happy with my appearance. I wasn't happy with like my eating habits. I wasn't happy with my finances. I wasn't happy with my car. There was quite a few things that I weren't happy with. So I had to like take some time to reflect and to see the current position I was in and truly understand what was it about where I was at the beginning of the year that I was not happy with, so that I could understand how I would want things to change. And I literally wrote everything down, like, I'm not happy with this. I didn't use those words. I didn't say, oh, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with that. But I basically said, I want to improve this. I want to improve that. I want this to be better. I want this to be better. Because even whilst we're doing that, we also still need to remember to be grateful for where we are, even if it's not exactly where we want to be, because things can always be worse, and I always have to make that a point. So gratitude is always a must when you are making the decision. When you make the decision to reinvent yourself and become the best version of yourself, you have to do that with gratitude, and to be like, you know what, God, I'm so thankful for where I am, for what I've got. However, I know there's more. I know you can bless me with more, and I feel like I'm deserving of more, and that is actually okay. So definitely take some time to reflect on your position, so that you can begin to make a plan and understand where it is you want to be. Literally open up your notes app, write down the things you're no longer happy with, the things you want to improve on. What does the version, like the best version of yourself, actually look like? Write that down so that you can understand it. Because when you just keep everything in your head, I feel like it's hard to have a raw understanding of it. But the minute you write things down, it's almost as if you're able to actually see it, so that you can, have a better understanding, and you can also build on that vision you have for yourself as well. So it can be a very simple and straightforward plan that's like filled with like 4 sections, that's like broken down into 4 sections, which is, where am I at right now, and what am I not necessarily happy about? What does the best version of me look like? What are my goals? What am I going to do to get there? So it can be that simple. That is something I did. But the thing that I feel like really helped me was, in the beginning of the year, if you go back to my videos, I made a little video. I say little, it's like 40 minutes long, where I shared with you guys my 100+ goals for 2023. And when I say to you guys, I literally achieved 95% of those goals. Like, to me, that is crazy. And I feel like that really helps. Now, I'm not saying that you should all write it down and then tell the whole world about it, but probably write it down. And then, in addition to that, create your own personal, private video diary where you are expressing to the camera exactly what your plan is, exactly what your goals are, and exactly what you're going to do to achieve it. It will allow you to look back on it in like 6 months so you can see what your mental state was, what it is you wanted, and what it is you have achieved, and what's left to achieve. It's just a great way to have like a diary and a memory so that you can understand your mindset back then and your mindset today. So definitely write it down and make a video diary of it as well. One of the most important things when it comes to reinventing yourself is your mindset. You need to be asking yourself, what is your mindset like right now? Are you someone who's quite negative? Are you someone who's quite optimistic? Are you positive? Can you see things in like a different perspective? That is really going to help you. And the way you can like cultivate and nurture a positive mindset is by the things you consume and by the things that you are doing on a daily basis. You need to be reading more books that are positive so that you can start to see things differently and start to have like a better understanding. There was a book that I read at the beginning of the year and it was called Atomic Habits. And I really, really feel like that was one of the things that really helped me be consistent in the gym, because it made me understand the reason why I wasn't being consistent in the gym. With the gym, it's all about a mindset. Are you the type of person that is always making excuses as to why you can't go? And are you the type of person who, instead of going, are you the type of person who struggles to go, not because you don't want to go, but because it might actually be a little bit impossible for you to go? So one of the things within that book that really helped me was it made me understand I'm not going to the gym, not because I don't want to, not because I've got 100 excuses, but because it was actually quite hard for me to do that at that time. And the reason why it was kind of hard for me to do that at that time was because my gym was extremely far away from where I lived. And at the time, I also didn't have a vehicle. So it was just almost impossible for me to go. And because of that, I made no effort to go. So the minute I realized that was the reason that was stopping me from going to the gym, was the minute I understood, okay, cool. What I need to be doing is I need to change the location of my gym. So I moved it to one that was literally next door to my daughter's nursery. And then I literally had no excuse. I had time in the morning before work to go, so I just went. So you need to be understanding your mindset. Why is it the way it is? Now, a lot of us aren't just negative for the sake of being negative. There's always like a reason why we're being negative. I started like my journey of being more positive and more optimistic when I understood why I was being negative in the first place. I would say I started my journey around like 18, 19, and like I started my journey to become more positive and like my journey of like personal development around the age of like 18, 19. And it was actually because someone pointed out to me how negative I was around that time. And the reason why I was negative around that time was because of like my social circle, things I was consuming. I was smoking. Like, I feel like you would look at me now and you would never think that I smoked a day in my life, but I was smoking. I had a boyfriend at the time that used to smoke, so because of that I was smoking. So it's really important to understand, like, why am I this negative person? The minute you can understand the reason why you're negative is the minute you can, start to make changes. What is it about you that is making you negative? Is it because of certain people you have in your life, the things you're consuming, the things you're doing, the things you're not doing? All of these contribute towards our mindset. And the thing is, your mindset is the be all and end all. If you can't see anything in a positive light, if you are making excuses for everything, things are never going to get better for you. Do you know what is so crazy? I never, ever, ever hear police sirens in my area. Never. The day I decided to film a sit down video, ring the alarm. And we threw this too long. Yeah, I'm there if I see another chicken. I'm like, what's going on? Why is there police sirens today of all days? What I'm going to do to make this easier for you with regards to having a more positive and optimistic mindset is I'm going to list some books down below that's going to start your journey with seeing things more positively, and so that you can start to like build your confidence and start to, put yourself in a position where you can really start to go after the things you want. Because the only reason why you aren't going after the things you want in life is because of your mindset. You're in this habit of, bringing yourself down. And that actually strongly leads me on to the next point. The thing we really need to do is we need to watch what we say in regards to ourselves. Our words are so, so, so powerful. And if you speak about yourself in a negative light, I just can't see how your life is going to get better, or how you're going to put yourself in a position so that you can start to attract the things you want. One thing I always make a point of is I always make a point not to talk about myself in a negative way. I might, slip up from time to time and say something as like a joke, but we shouldn't even be joking about ourselves in a negative way. So one thing I really, really want you to do is I want you to watch how you describe yourself. I've seen a thing on TikTok right now that I'm struggling to understand, and I haven't spoken about it on that platform yet, but I really need to, because that's where it's taking place. And it's like, in regards to single mothers, I've noticed that a lot of them are referencing themselves as like struggling single mothers, and it's just really negative and really dark and really depressing, if I'm being honest with you. One thing I will never do, like no matter what I'm going through, is I'm never gonna describe myself as a struggling anything, because I feel like the minute you attach yourself to these negative words, these negative connotations, is the minute you are like sending signals out to the world that says this is who I am. And then what happens then is the world presents you with opportunities and experiences and situations that really prove to you that's who you are. I have never seen one of the, women who describe themselves as this talk about a positive experience, and I can only think it's because of how you describe yourself. If you're going to describe yourself as a struggling single mother, you're going to be met with struggle. You're going to be met with hardship. So whether you're a single mom, whatever you are right now, like, one thing I do not want you to do, don't describe yourself as like a struggling small business or a struggling business owner, a struggling university student, a struggling whatever. We are not describing ourselves in any negative way at any point in time. That is the worst thing you can do to yourself, because when you attach yourself to these negative words, I can promise you that the universe is going to tell you you are right. And then what happens then is you are met with experiences that prove to you, yes, you are right. Because at the end of the day, the universe is going to affirm that belief to you by, allowing your words and reality to match. So if you want to start to change the things you are seeing in your reality, if you want to change the things that you are attracting in your reality, you need to change the way you speak. I know a lot of people will struggle with this, because it's like, if you are struggling in life, or if things do feel hard for you, how do you then turn around and say, I'm a successful business owner, if you're not seeing success? And it's hard, but it's one of the things where you're going to have to learn how to do it, and you're going to have to take it day by day. If you don't use the words like successful or anything like that, the least you could do is not use the negative words as well. So just as much as you don't use the positive words is just as much as you don't use the negative words. Does that make sense? So we really just need to get to a place where we are speaking of ourselves in a more positive light, and we are doing things that at least help us move in a more positive direction. When I made the decision to transform my life, in the beginning, I wasn't who it was I wanted to be. However, that didn't stop me from talking about myself with certainty, like I knew that's who I'm going to be. So you really need to start talking about yourself in a way where it's like, okay, cool, that might not be my reality today, but it's going to be my reality at some point. When I'm with my family, one thing I always notice is the fact that I'm always that one person that's talking about how rich I'm going to be, how successful I'm going to be. And that's just it. It might not be an existing reality right now. However, I do believe it exists in some space or time. It exists, and it's literally just making its way towards me. So because I know that facts, like it might not have happened yet, but I know it's a fact. So because I know that, I speak as if it's already present, because technically it is. We just don't know it yet. Like, it's literally making its way towards me. Everything, all of the goodness life has to offer that I have yet to experience, it exists and it's making its way towards me. So I talk as if it's already real, because it is already real. I hope that's making sense. Like, we really need to change the way we speak about ourselves, change what we attach ourselves to. You don't want struggle to be your brand. You don't want hardship to be your brand. You don't want laziness to be your brand. Don't make these negative things your brand. Don't make these negative things your self-image, because if you do, that's who you are. That's what you're going to be known for. That's the experiences you're going to have. That's the opportunities you're going to be met with. And we don't want that. So that is definitely up there on my list when it came to me, wanting to reinvent myself. I had to watch what it is I was saying, because I know how what we identify with is basically what we become. If you studied sociology, you would have learned this in sociology. It's basically called like the self-fulfilling prophecy, where it says that if someone says to you, I feel like the example they use in secondary school in sociology class is like, if a teacher says you're a failure, it's like the student feels like they need to live up to that expectation, so they become a failure. So let's use the self-fulfilling prophecy in a positive way, where we say to ourselves, we're successful. And then it's like, I keep saying I'm successful, so I have to live up to that. And that's basically like how I live my life. I come on the internet and I say to you guys, like, I'm going to be this great and important figure, and I'm successful, I'm this and that. And it's like, okay, cool. My reality needs to also match my words. So I put the work in, I put the time, and I do whatever it is I can and need to do, so that my words and reality exist at the same time. Everything it is you say you're going to do, I need you to start doing it. There is no way you're going to change your life if you don't start doing the things you say it is you're going to do. If you say you want to start the business, start the business. If you say you want to be consistent in the gym, be consistent in the gym. If you say you want to start eating healthy, start eating healthy. If you say you want to go after that career, go after that career. If you say you want to go after that degree, go after that degree. Everything it is you say you're going to do, I need you to start doing it, and I need you to stop making excuses, because the only person you're letting down, the only person you're holding back is yourself. There is no way you're going to reinvent yourself. There is no way you're going to have everything it is you want from life if you don't actually do the thing it is you say you're going to do. The minute my life started to change was when I said, I want this, I'm going after it. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to have this thing. And literally, everything is I said I wanted in 2023, I have gotten. And the things I have not got is because I have not gone after them. So hear me when I say this. Everything is you say you are going to do in 2024, I need you to do it. I don't need you to wait for anything. I don't need you to wait for anyone. You need to put yourself first. You need to get up and you need to do the work, and you need to just be bold when you're doing it. Have no fear. Like, feel the fear and do it anyway. I think that is my favorite saying. It might be scary, it might be hard, but you need to do it. There is that one thing that goes around in your mind that you know you should be doing, and you know the minute you started to do that thing is the minute your life will change. You need to do it. That one thing that keeps like showing up when I say the words do the work is the thing you need to be doing. And the minute you do that is the minute you're going to start to see things change all around you. You need to realize that this is literally a marathon, not a sprint. I know I'm making a video here today saying how we're going to transform our life and how we're going to reinvent ourselves by 2024, and that will kind of make you feel like, oh my gosh, I need to rush, I need to do this ASAP. But at the end of the day, basically what I'm trying to say is we just need to start. You don't need to change your life and reinvent yourself in 1 month. For a lot of people, that will be hard. But the one thing you can do is you can definitely start. And when I say you need to realize it's a marathon and not a sprint, is because, and when I say it's a marathon and it's not a sprint, it's because I want you to stop looking at what everyone else is doing. Stop looking at how everyone else has bought a house, how everyone else is driving their dream car or is making 100K a year. That's great for them, and we applaud them and we congratulate them. However, there is no time limit, there's no expiration date. You can take your time to move towards the things it is you want in life, and don't watch what everyone else is doing, because when you take your eye off of yourself and whatever it is you're supposed to do, is the minute you get distracted and you delay your own progress, you delay your own start, because it's almost as if we put ourselves in a crippling state where we can no longer do whatever it is we need to do for ourselves because of what everyone else is doing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like when you watch what everyone else is doing, you get disheartened. What's that saying? Comparison is the thief of joy. And that is literally why I say it's a marathon and not a sprint. Because if you compare your position in life to everyone else's, you're going to put yourself in a place where you don't do anything at all. And how can you reinvent yourself and how can you become the best version of yourself if you aren't doing anything? And you're not going to do anything if you are busy watching everyone else, because you simply just don't even have the time to do whatever it is you need to do. Another thing we need to do is we need to stop consuming all of this information. So we need to stop reading all of the self-help books. We need to stop watching all of the self-help videos. I know you're watching one right now, but we need to stop doing that if we're not going to take action, if we're not going to listen to the advice and implement the advice. Consume all of the self-help content you want to consume if you're actually going to put it to use. Otherwise, it's just content at the end of the day. So what I really want you to do is stop, take a breather, pause, come back, and start consuming them again once you've started to implement what it is they've told you to implement. Because it's almost like it's like information you just don't. Information overload will literally just take you to a place of numbness that stops you from doing everything it is you need to do. So instead of consuming all of this self-help and personal development material, take it easy, take it slow, read one self-help book, implement everything it is they tell you to do, and once you've done that, you can move on to the next one. Because if what you're doing is consuming all of this self-help and personal development material, all that is entertainment, and it isn't supporting you on your journey or doing anything to help you reinvent or rebrand yourself. Guys, I'm so sad. This conversation needs to come to an end because my memory is running out. It's so embarrassing. Like, I really need to get myself some sort of what do they call them? You guys know what I mean. I need to get one of those memory box things so that I have somewhere to store all of my content, because your girl is struggling right now. Starting from today, you need to be extremely firm when it comes to your boundaries and your non-negotiables. People need to know there are just certain things that's just not going to slide. They can't speak to you a certain way. They can't make you feel a certain way. They can't react to you a certain way, because your boundaries and your non-negotiables are known. You've made it known, you've made it clear, and you've made it known that it's something that you are not going to tolerate. When you have boundaries in place, you are able to have relationships with people that are built on respect. And I think that's one thing we forget. Respect is so important. Everyone in your life needs to respect you. They need to respect your choices, your decisions, and how you decide to live your life, and the things you decide to do and the things you decide not to do. The minute you have people around you who respect you is the minute you can start to live freely. The minute people in your life understand your boundaries and what your non-negotiables are will determine how they treat you. And how people treat you is a big part of you reinventing yourself. It allows you to go out into the world as the person it is you actually want to be. So make sure you are putting boundaries in place. Make sure you're making your boundaries known, and make sure you're making your non-negotiables known as well. Finally, for the last thing that I want to point out is we need to be upskilling, and we need to be investing time and money into our education. I actually want to split this part into two sections. So for the people who have like a business, whether you're a lash tech or a beautician, and you know you want to charge more, what you really need to be doing is you need to be upskilling. And that's probably going to look like investing some of your hard earned money into another beauty provider who offers the same thing as you, but who is probably better than you, so that they can teach you, so that you can improve your skill, improve your talent, so that you can go ahead and start to charge more. We all know a big part of reinventing yourself is finances. And the way to make more money is to upskill. So definitely go ahead and start to invest your money into someone who's able to teach you, so that you can learn more, improve your skills, improve your talent, so that you can go ahead and charge more. And for the people who are in a 9 to 5, who are in a career who actually love that, but might want a promotion, or who are looking to switch careers, what you're going to need to do is you're either going to invest money into like an accredited course that's going to give you the qualification it is that you need, so that you can start a completely new career, or you're going to have to invest just time. So it's either you invest time and money, or you're just going to have to invest time into, actually learning the material. A lot of people want to be software engineers, and I just don't understand why you don't start, especially because it's something you can actually do for free. You know that you don't need like an accredited qualification. All you really have to do is go onto YouTube, find the perfect course for you, and invest your time into actually learning the material, so that you can eventually have the skills, so that you can go ahead and apply for that 6-figure job that you've been craving for. So when you are looking to reinvent yourself, ask yourself, what am I doing right now, and what do I want to do? If you're in a career right now that you don't necessarily love, or maybe you love it and you just want a promotion, but you're unable to get that promotion because you just don't have the skills, you really need to, bite the bullet and invest, whether it be the money or the time, into your education, so that you can start to get whatever it is you want. One of the things I did for myself this year, which I'm so happy about, is I invested into an accredited course that's going to allow me to completely switch my career path. I did mention it in a few blogs ago, so some of you already know what I'm talking about. And I felt like that was really important for me on my journey of reinvention, because as much as I don't really see myself in a traditional career for long, I actually do see content creation taking off for me and helping me retire. Until I get to that point, I want to be in a career I love, I want to be in a career I enjoy, and I want to be in a career that pays well. And in order for that to actually happen, I understand I have to invest the time and I have to invest the money into it, so that I can actually get to that position. And it's like, I'm already happy with 2024 because I've taken the steps today, I've taken the steps this year that's going to allow me to succeed for next year. And that's what it's all about. It's all about planting the seeds now, doing the work now, so that you can get the results, next year. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. I love that saying. In this video, we're all about sayings, but I do love that. It's all about putting in the work today, and then, harvesting and watering and pouring yourself into everything from now, so that in a few months' time, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm exactly where it is I want to be. Like last year I did all of the work. I put myself in the position to do the work. I prepared, I did everything it is I needed to do. And now look at me, I'm exactly where it is I want to be. You're gonna look back and you're gonna say, yeah, I reinvented myself, and you're gonna be so proud. So just take the time. If you have to invest money, just invest the money. One thing about money is it always comes back. And I feel like when you invest in yourself financially, it's going to come back tenfold. And that's the mindset and the energy you need to maintain. You just need to believe, okay, cool, I might be parting ways with this money now, however, it's going to come back to me tenfold. And the thing about money is, if you don't spend it on this, you're going to spend it on that. So you might as well spend it on something that's actually going to benefit you, that's actually going to help you become the person it is you want to become. So that is everything from me today. There is so much more I can talk about on this subject, and we're definitely going to be doing that by, like, we're going to have more of these conversations as we close out the rest of the year. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any tips on how you have reinvented yourself or what you're currently doing, please put them in the comment section down below. Let's get a conversation going. And on that note, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.